Bienvenue sur Paris 13 Lab, le média dédié à la culture urbaine asiatique. Dans cette nouvelle série de reportages, on vous emmène au Danemark pour vous présenter les acteurs de la culture asiatique à Copenhague. Au cours des 7 épisodes, vous ferez la rencontre de restaurateurs, stylistes, entrepreneurs ou encore DJ qui excellent dans leur domaine. Qu'ils soient originaires d'Asie ou du Danemark, chacun d'eux contribue à faire vivre la culture asiatique dans la capitale danoise. Ils suivent des parcours passionnants parsemés d'histoires formidables que vous allez découvrir dès maintenant. Pour ce 6e épisode, partons à la rencontre de Niklas Jamie Fraser, chef pâtissier chez Anderson Bakery, la boulangerie japonaise d'inspiration danoise.
I'm a 34-year-old baker and pastry chef. I live in Copenhagen, Frederiksberg. And I've been working in Anderson Bakery for around 10 years now. And I'm in charge of the operation, the production in Anderson Bakery. And I have a hobby with making actually chocolate sculpture. That's my specializing in this business. The idea for making pastries or baked goods started for me actually back in high school. I didn't know for sure what I wanted to do when I was finishing school. So I was in a tryout for 1 week, 2 weeks in a bakery, and it just started like a small seeds. was growing, and the idea came to me, I think, little by little at that time actually. When I grew up, I actually didn't have like a family baking a lot or anything. My mother was of course actually making some buns once in a while. I have a lot of brothers and sisters, and but it was more like, I think it was actually economy-wise more cheaper to do something yourself. But I didn't get this inspiration in my childhood actually. That's the funny part. It came later, I think, yeah. When I finished my high school, I was starting to studying as a baker. And I did that actually in a small bakery on Amager. It's a small area in Copenhagen, and I had my studying there and my trainee as a baker. And after that, I was I had a lot of fun by doing this more details on the things. So I was focusing more on doing cakes. Even sculpture I was having my interest in, so I started to study as a pastry chef and do more fine cakes and even sculptures a little bit. And I did that inside city center in Copenhagen in a place called Hans Christian Andersen Confectionery, and I had my time there to become a pastry chef. I think before I started here in Anderson Bakery, I was already start competing with making sculpture and cakes. I went to Coupe du Monde de la Pâtisserie in French, and even in US I was there for making chocolate and a lot of other stuff. And actually already back then I saw Japan was actually one of those countries on the top of the border league, so at that time I knew that Japan is, they know how to do, and so it already there it had given me some inspiration that if I could get some of that touch or some of that inspiration, that would be nice. And later actually I hooked up with Anderson Bakery, so that was a perfect match. It's a bit funny, here in Anderson Bakery, Denmark, we try to combine this Japanese style from the mother company and then the Danish way. I think it's important. The good thing is that Japan are making this laminated baked goods, and that's our tradition in Denmark to do. So that combination comes out with doing maybe more smaller pieces, very sharp lines. Even the finishing it's more like minimized and sharp. And of course the taste, it comes out with different taste ingredients like matcha or yuzu or unpanned bean paste. So we try to combine it as much as possible, but still fit into this Danish culture and taste and yeah. Of course, I mean, I've been inspired by traveling to Japan myself some years ago, and that also gives me some ideas of how we can incorporate it in the business in Denmark. And yeah, I did that, and I think, of course, through competitions to see how Japanese chefs are working, and also by being in Japan myself, I got a lot of ideas for taste and the visual, and yeah. I think when I make some new, it could be like these laminate Danish cakes, whatever, sculpture maybe. It always starts in my mind. But and the funny part is I'm not that good at drawing actually, because I believe it doesn't interesting me. So I'm not good at the drawing, but I have it always in my mind. So maybe I draw something down anyway to keep the ideas. And when it comes to the finish point, I know where to go. So it's always in my mind, and I think that's the way I developing and making up new things. I think what's inspired me most with the Japanese culture, but also the Japanese way to think and to be, is the focus. I mean, the focus and the strictness of how to work and how to finish up things. I mean, it's always very important that it's in a certain way and it's done the same way every time. I think that's inspired me a lot actually. I like to be creative, but I think if you have the frames, it's much easier to keep a high standard and a good quality. But I think we are different, a lot of different people working together here in Andersen Bakery. And I think what's important is also, if I have to do any teaching of the students, the trainees, if I have to learn anybody, the new products or anything, I think it starts with being, of course, happy and smiling. And then, of course, just, I mean, basically showing how to do it, explain it from the bottom and up. Then, and of course, the environment, the social environment is very important. I think it's the most important, no matter where you go, because that's where you can actually be happy in what you're doing, and you have to be happy in what you're doing to do a good finish. It's very important for us when you go into the room, to the bakery, the pastry shop here, that you feel actually this Japanese spirit. But also, of course, it's important, I mean, we are in Denmark, so we don't go too far away from that. But we actually have like, we have a wall, white wall. It should, like, it's a symbol of this origami, this paper cut and fold. Basically the idea is to having this warm wood, and so it's this more Nordic style. It's a combination, and the cakes are actually doing the colors, so we get some color in also that way. That's the whole idea. I see myself in 5-10 years. I hope I will be like I hope I'm still working in Andersen Bakery. I hope that we build up something even better and stronger. I mean, I hope we are putting the trend in Copenhagen and in Japan, of course. I hope we will be the one who's actually showing how to do a bakery and a pastry shop. So I hope we will be the one to at least be one of those who's actually showing how to do it. This whole history about this Andersen Bakery shop, it was a Japanese chef. He came to Denmark. He got the idea here back in 1959. And he stayed on a hotel. In the morning he got this Danish baked goods. and he basically just fall in love. And when he went back to Japan, I think like 3 years later, he was ready to open a shop to sell Danish baked goods in Japan. So with a Japanese touch, but the Danish tradition and idea. And now here, like I think it's like 13 years ago, he wants to bring back this Danish pastry where it belongs, so back to Denmark. So he actually turned it around and he brought the idea back again, but with this Japanese touch. So that's it's a funny story. Yeah. In Denmark we have this only one only this shop at the moment. Yeah. Of course we hope to expand the business in the future, but we want to focus on the quality, and yeah, well, let's see how it goes. Actually, we have like Japanese students traveling to Denmark every year. So they're working in Andersen company in Japan, and they stay here for 1 year at a time. And while they're here, they are basically educated. The education in Japan as a baker is a big different from Denmark. I mean, we have like a frame on how long it takes. Basically, whatever you do in Japan, I mean, you're never finished, so you can just continue until you're not working anymore. But they come here to get some Danish ideas, a Danish way to think, and so they stay here 1 year at a time, and they switch out with a new Japanese baker to come here. And here in the end, I actually just want to give a big shout out to Paris 13 Lab. Thank you for coming. I mean, thank you for the visiting, and I hope that you feel a warm welcome to be here in Andersen Bakery.
Cet épisode touche à sa fin, on se retrouve très vite sur la chaîne YouTube de Paris 13 Lab.